Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are having a very wonderful day today. So today, as I said yesterday on my breast video, I will make a video on the Marseille because I have grinded that and I've played more games in the Marseille. And honestly, I still think that this ship is good, but obviously it's start to lower my expectations with this ship, just because I have a string of bad games that I have where I have like a lose streak using this ship. But I don't believe that this is the problem of this ship in particular. It's just because of my teammates, or just because of unlucky, right? So what is the Marseille different from the Brest? Now, first of all, is that it has 9 guns compared to the Brest 8. It has a 330 millimeters, the same as Brest, and 36% fire chance. So it's roughly similar. You only get one more guns, but compared to the Brest quadruple turrets, you have now 3 triple turrets. Now, honestly, for me, I think that the dispersion on these 3 triple turrets is much better than the quadruple turrets the Brest have. Now, I'm not sure. Is it just my feelings or what? But I feel like triple turrets have better dispersion than quadruple turrets. I could be wrong, obviously. Now, it also have a really good, sorry, not a really good, but a decent airstrike range at 8 kilometers. It's certainly not the best. Okay, it's not the best, but it's still not the worst, or it's not as worse as Brest 7 kilometers. You can still hit submarines quite well at 8 kilometers, although the submarine needs to be pushing into you. It also have good AA damage at 348 and 8 flag. This means that you actually quite good at defending yourself, especially against tier 8 carriers. For tier 10s, if he uses heals and such, you probably won't be able to deal much damage to them, except if maybe the CV player got hit by a flag. But still, your AA is quite good. Okay, it's not the slack. You have quite a good concealment as well at 11.6 kilometers. So if I remember correctly, the Brest actually halves 11.7, so you actually have a better concealment than the Brest, even though your ship is arguably more longer, because your turning radius is actually longer, right? So it's much less tight compared to the Brest in turning. And you actually have horrible rudder shift, in my opinion. At least 14 point something seconds is actually quite noticeable. Okay, but you could obviously reduce that using rudder shift mods, but I would suggest you to just use propulsion mode, because you want to acceleration juke in French ships in particular, because you have speed boost, right? You want to use that speed boost not only to go around the map, but you also improve your acceleration. So you want to double and fast in acceleration, in my opinion. And I have many times where I acceleration juke someone, and actually that is actually just my armor then, right? Now, talking about armor, this ship actually has armor compared to the Brest mediocre armor, right? It has 36 millimeter deck now, so you can bounce essentially everything, even Shikishimas and Satsumas, if I'm not mistaken. I think Shikishimas and Satsumas could only ever match 35. So you have 36 millimeter deck. Now, do note that you actually have a step deck, so people could still pen you even in long range because of that step deck, which is a bit of a bummer. But at the very least, some shells will be bounced off your deck at long range. Now, at closer range, most shells will hit your upper belt, which is only 30 millimeters. So every single tier 10 battleships, except maybe Montanas and Closer Cruisers, could overmatch you. Oh, and actually Schlieffen as well. I think Schlieffen actually don't have the 457s, if I'm not mistaken. 420s? I could be wrong, okay? I could be wrong. I haven't checked Schlieffen in a while. So let's just continue talking about this ship then. It has good range as well at 22.7. Using range mod, I would recommend using range mod, just because the games at tier 10 is very passive, and you actually quite struggle to have any impact if you have low range. But if you like to play with reload mode, that is also okay, right? You want to get those juicy fires or juicy damage on, then that is fine. But for me, at least, I prefer more longer range engagement, just because I could acceleration juke easier at longer range compared to short range. Now, the ship actually still have quite a bad firing angles kiting, because especially now that we have 3 turrets compared to 2. So, but it's looking back at it now, it's still the same angle, I think, to the breast. So you will be quite broadside when you shoot all your guns when kiting over your shoulder style. But at the very least, you can juke their shells, so you can bait them to shoot you, and you can play with your throttle. Okay. And using speed boost, you accelerate and decelerate so quickly that at 16 to plus ranges, you can essentially get out from their salvo. Now, you have the same HE pen as the breast, so at 55 millimeters, it's not something special. You still can't really pen Soviet battleships like Kremlins in their 16 millimeter deck, and you still cannot pen German middle decks, which is about 80, like Frederick the Grosse, and something like that on Pommern maybe. So you still can't really deal with damage to them consistently, but at least you have some 36% fire chance, unlike the Sherberg, as I said before in the breast video. It is also one of the cruisers that quite low protection torpedo. I forgot to tell them in breast. I forgot the breast torpedo protection numbers, but this ship only have 25%, which is not great. So if you are facing shimakazes, facing your torpedo boats, you'll get blapped easily, right? Now, if you look at my consumable, I only have 3 hydro, 3 speed boost, 3 heals, and 4 reload booster. That's just because I have only 11 point captain. So I think that at some point, maybe in the future, this ship will be much better compared to what I have now, because I don't have superintendent, I don't have top grade gunner, I don't have all those different stuff. I only have demo expert, gun feeder, sorry, not gun feeder, the turret. Oh yeah, I have gun feeder. The turret speed as well. I have demo expert for my second skill. I have adrenaline rush, and I have concealment expert. That is all for my 11 point captain. But if you have more a point of captain, I would suggest you get superintendent to get more main booster, more heals, more everything. And you have really you have 4 consumables, so that is quite a good investment. Plus and I would suggest maybe a top grade gunner, or maybe what else, top grade gunner, and or maybe survivability expert, just to increase those HP. That will be that can work as well. But other than that, I don't know what else. I haven't checked what I want to build on my commander, but at the very least, you need gun feeder. Why? Because you want to exchange your shells, right? You sometimes want to shoot AP, sometimes you want to shoot HE. Without gun feeder, it takes a long time. It's 29 seconds just to reload. That will be insane. So I noticed that before I spec gun feeder, is that I just shoot HE every time. I don't care if it's broadside or not, even though the AP is much better. The amount of thought that I need, the amount of preemptive thought that I need to expect someone to go broadside for 29 seconds is actually too much for me, right? For like 13-14 seconds, I think it's still reasonable. I could still imagine someone, okay, in the next 14 seconds he will start to go broadside, so I need to prepare for AP salvo. I think it's still reasonable, but for 29 seconds, yeah, it's a bit far-fetched. Now, honestly, in my opinion at least, the AP doesn't really deal that much damage at longer range, just because your AP can't really overmatch anything. So if you've at longer ranges, they could angle easily, they could, you know, expect your shells, so your shells will either bounce, you ricochet, shatter. So it's you, I would suggest you at longer range to just shoot HE, right? And to spread the fire around, so shoot a battleship, one fire, and then shoot another battleship, one fire, so you get two fires on two different ships. That will be damage padding, right? Your damage farming, which is much better than setting two fires on one battleships, because then the battleship just damage control, right? So yeah, it's for longer range you just need I would assume, sorry, I would recommend to just use HE and set people on fire. At shorter range though, you will need to you want to start to use your AP, just because your AP is actually quite good, especially at shorter range where you can hit without them, you know, angling too much, especially since, you know, your shell velocity, even though it's not that fast at 800 plus meters per second, the French AP is actually really high pen. Okay, so you can deal a lot of damage to the enemy. Now, you actually have main reload booster as well, so maybe you can switch out shells, plus you adding your reload booster to further shorten the reload. That might be an option as well, so that let's say you already saw that, okay, 14 seconds, this person will already not being broadside to me any longer, so I just pop my reload booster, swap to HP, and shoot at the broadside enemy before he start to angle towards me. That's, I guess, what I've been doing with these ships. Now, I've been playing quite passively with this ship. I don't want, especially at the early games, to push. I prefer kiting position until maybe like seven players in the enemy team, or like the enemy team has been thinned out. Then I will make flanking plays. I will make you know, map and control plays with this ship, because you actually quite fast at 39 something knots if you use speed boost. Actually, I don't remember if you can reach 40, but 39 is easy, right? 39 is very easy. And yeah, it's your accuracy is still Battlecruiser though, so you don't expect to hit every single shells, your 9 shells. So make sure that even though you aim well, I mean, this person can still mess you up. And yeah, it's honestly a great continuation of the Brass, I think. Now, whether do I prefer the Brass over the Marseille, similar to how I prefer Sherbrooke to Brass, I honestly prefer Marseille better than the Brass. I don't know, I feel much more powerful in the ship. I feel like I am more consistent, and I actually feel that, you know, I'm quite scary compared to the Brass. I don't know, maybe because of my armor, maybe because of my increase in one barrel can change really my perception of the ship. I don't know, but that is how I feel about this. Now that I finished this grind, do I recommend this line for a newbie? I honestly don't think so, right? This line is actually one of quite a, I would say, hard line to push. It's not because it has gimmicks. It doesn't mean that it's not like it have difficult playstyle. It's just really hard to get to play the ship well without knowing some game mechanics, right? Like acceleration juking, like using your speed boost to increase your acceleration, like baiting people's shots by showing your broadside, but still quite angled just in case if the shell hits. You also need to make sure that you which enemy is shooting at you, what type of enemy is shooting at you, and can you bounce that shell, or can that shell overmatch you. You also need to make sure that you don't get set on fire a lot, because you actually have battleship duration fire as well. So, and you have arguably paper armor, so except for the deck. So just imagine that this is quite a big ship, and it's not really that maneuverable. It's fast, but it can't really turn fast. So, and it is a cruiser class, so you have I forgot to check if you have up a citadel or not, like a above citadel or a hittable citadel. uh Through the games that I play, I haven't got Citadel to once, but I think that's just because of my play, I think, maybe. And yeah, oh yeah, also this ship is quite hard in the sense that for newbie to use that main reload booster effectively is not essentially the most straightforward, right? So yeah, it's overall not, I wouldn't recommend this line to a newbie player, especially since you need to grind the French cruisers, which is definitely not an easy ship, like an easy line to grind, because you deal a lot of damage, but your battle impact is just damage, that's it. So you will have like high damage games and you'll still lose. Okay, so that's the problem, in my opinion, of French cruisers in general. Both the Henry the fourth line and this line, but at least this line has some better battle impact by you have bigger guns, but and actually have good concealment. Okay, Henry have bad concealment, even though this ship I would say should have like worse concealment, but I don't know how Wargaming think that the Henry will have worse concealment than this one, this ship with 330 millimeter guns. But yeah, anyways, I think the Marseille overall is, as I said before, it's not a good line for newbies. For newbie, I would assume like the American cruiser will be much better, because you have radar, you have all these tools to impact the game, and or maybe the Russian cruiser as well. But Russian cruiser is quite paper thin, so yeah, it's a bit tough. I would say cruiser line in general is, you need to have quite a bit of a game knowledge to play cruiser lines well. Different from battleships where you can just hope for the best, etc. But yeah, overall that's I guess my or not first impression, but my review of the Marseille. A good ship, more powerful than the Brest and the Sherberg as well, and I will keep it. It's just that I still find it less battle impact compared to if I were to sail in the Des Moines, Petropavlovsk, Nevsky, and even Venezia. I feel like I have more battle impact in Venezia than in this ship, or maybe it's just down to how I play. The Marseille, I will play a bit far back. Maybe I should try and push a bit, but every time I push, I got blapped, just because the amount of passive gameplay nowadays in tier 10s, especially facing super ship as well, is really prevalent. So if you as a cruiser push up alone and your battleship is just loitering around at the back, then what benefit, then you will get farm, right? Especially if your ship has if your team have Kearsarge. For whatever reason, people don't understand that Kearsarge still could push. Why would you stay around at the back and pretending to be carrier? I don't know, I don't understand. And I play carriers, okay? I'm not like all carrier hater like that. I still play carriers. I have Kagas, I have Maltos, I have Hakuryus, etc. It's just that for me, at least, if you're playing a Kearsarge, you want to use that guns as well, right? Why would you want to stay at the back? Okay, I still don't understand that. Yeah, it's enough of my rant about hybrid ships. Anyways, I think that is all for this video. For the next grind, I would grind on. I still haven't decided yet, but I am contemplating of maybe going on the Spanish cruiser line. I heard that the Spanish cruiser line is quite good, or maybe maybe I will wait for the other French DD to be released. I think right now it's early access on the PTS server. I might be wrong, but probably I would get that or later, maybe like the second grind series. But I still prefer that maybe like the Spanish cruiser, right? Spanish cruiser is quite an overlooked class in the game. So maybe I will try to look at it. I think the tier 10 is called Cataluna, something. Now the option is between that cruiser, the Gdansk, so the tier 8, the tier 10 pan-European DD, and the what else that I don't have? The what else line? I think I have grinded most of the. Oh, I don't have the Shimakaze. Okay, so maybe the Shimakaze line, but I think it's too vanilla, right? It's too people don't really want to watch it. So yeah, maybe I will get the Spanish cruiser. Anyways, that is all for this video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.